Alright, so yes, it's 2 videos into Danny Phantom month and I'm already abandoning that theme, but there's a spooky movie that I have to talk about. So my mom was at Value Village the other day, and she picked up this movie, and then she gave it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this movie. So then I watched it, and I was like, fuck yes, this movie is fucking awesome. That's right, we're talking about Batman vs fucking Dracula. So this movie came out in 2005, and it's tied in with the show The Batman that no one really remembers because it aired during the time that the Dark Knight movies were coming out. The show is okay, but this movie is the shit. It's such an awesome idea. Batman fighting Dracula. Batman's basically just a new age Dracula anyways. It's 2 guys that both have bat themes, and they go around at night attacking people to some extent. It's brilliant. It's such a great pairing that, like, I'm surprised it's never really been done before this movie. The Batman was the one to decide that, yeah, let's have Batman fight Dracula. And there's so many parallels, too. Gotham is basically just a new age Transylvania. Wayne Manor is basically Dracula's castle. And Batman and Dracula both take the form of bats, go out only at night. They appear to be just normal rich people on the surface, but underneath there's something much darker. Like, it's fucking great, and the movie, like, really plays with that idea and goes into it. Dracula hasn't been around for 100 years or whatever, so when he shows up in Gotham, he realizes that Batman is, like, basically taking his shtick and is doing it better than him. And this really pisses Dracula off, which is, like, such a great reason for these guys to fight. This might actually be one of the best versus movies that exist as well. The 2 characters fighting is actually the main conflict of the entire story, and the movie doesn't have a cop-out ending with a superhero team-up or a tie.
Dripping with garlic.
This manages to be both a great Batman and a great Dracula movie. There aren't that many good Dracula movies, and this one kind of does all the tropes, but, like, better. He's got the mind-controlled assistant. He's infatuated with young women. Attacking people at night. He turns into a bat. He doesn't like garlic. All of this shit. It's a great Batman movie also. Batman fights the Penguin, the Joker. He's a vigilante. He only goes out at night. He actually does detective shit in this movie, which is why he, like, is able to figure out that it's vampires really early on. And this movie actually has a good excuse to retell parts of Batman's origin because he's afraid of bats and Dracula is a bat. This movie's fucking awesome. The lighting and camera angles are dark and twisted. It's got really good action for the budget that it has. It has lines like this.
Breaking at the bank.
As you have more apocalyptic matters to attend to, might you be leaving this one to the police?
It's a blood bank.
And it's fucking dark, too. There's this really creepy scene where the Joker becomes a vampire and he has a fight with Batman at this blood bank. Yep, this is a movie for kids. People always praise the Dark Knight movies and Frank Miller's Batman for being really dark and edgy, but they ain't had any of this shit. Unlike Venom for Spider-Man or Bizarro for Superman, Batman never really has an anti-Batman type character that has similar abilities but uses them for evil, which is why Dracula makes such a great villain for Batman. He's literally an evil Batman. It's great. But on top of this, this movie also manages to explore Batman and the Joker's relationship without being over-explaining or over-analyzing anything. It just gives you, like, this one scene.
Have mercy on a sad clown.
Betsy, you complete me.
Think about this. Batman won't let the Joker die, even though he's a monster that's been turned into an even more evil monster. And this really shows how much the Joker needs Batman, too. And they don't try to make themselves seem like they're smart for coming up with any of this. They just do it, and then move on. But what's really great about this movie is how Batman is the perfect antagonist for Dracula. Batman not only encompasses everything that makes Dracula cool, but everything that makes Van Helsing cool too. By using gadgets and science to fight this demonic, mystical being, Batman is both vampire and vampire hunter. Throughout the movie, Batman keeps getting credit for all the people that Dracula has taken. So then, like, the cops are after Batman too, which is always awesome. And then Dracula kind of takes this personal, because Batman took Dracula's brand and he's doing it better than him. The movie could be seen as like a metaphor for how superheroes have taken the place of old horror characters. In the 30s and 40s, Dracula and the Wolfman and Frankenstein were the characters that had big crossover movies, and now it's just Avengers and Justice League. The superhero has taken the place of the gothic monster in the cultural zeitgeist. That's the theme of this movie for kids. Now, it's not perfect. I do like the soundtrack for specific themes, but for the action scenes, it definitely needs something more upbeat. Here, let me try something.
Yeah.
Perfect. And also, they don't really explain how Batman is able to cure vampirism other than because he's Batman.
And my computer will analyze it with science.
But whatever, at least we get to see him doing science in the Batcave in the Batman costume, which is awesome, and I don't know why they don't do that in the movies. Now, spoiler alert here, because I'm going to give away the ending, but it's the most fucking badass thing that Batman has ever done in his life. Check this shit out.
You are Bruce Wayne.
I'm the Batman. And you're dust.
Fuck yes. Not only does Batman turn him to dust, but he fucking punches him and his skeleton explodes. People like talk about like Batman's so cool, he could beat up Superman, but no one ever brings up the time that Batman exploded Dracula with his fist. This ending is so badass. I love it so much. Batman just fucking outbats Dracula. And then as Dracula cowers in fear of a shadow of the bat, he realizes that he's Bruce Wayne. He's like, oh fuck, I just got beat by a guy. And then Batman is like, no, I'm the fucking Batman. I'm relevant and you're dust. Wow. What a fucking ending. So yeah, this movie is the best, and it's dark and brooding and everything you like about Batman, everything you like about a versus movie. It's one of the best vampire movies outside of The Lost Boys, and I just don't understand why no one ever talks about this movie, because it's fucking awesome. If you want something spooky with Batman in it, check this shit out. I'm serious, this movie is so underrated. People need to be talking about this shit. Anyways, that's it for now. I might have another Danny Phantom video. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Go check out Batman vs. Dracula. You won't be disappointed.